Hello, I'm Ray Heron. You're watching Moto NZ. This is the Triumph Street Triple 765 RS, and today we're taking it out for a hoon. I mean, a ride. Okay, so here we are. I promised you we'd do it. Now we're doing it. 765 on the road. Now, I did a couple of minor tweaks to this bike since you last saw it. We've installed the factory Triumph scrolling indicators, front and rear. And we've put on the sexy little fly screen with extender, which I think really finishes off the front of the bike. Really gives it a bit of a look. These are all parts and accessories available on the Triumph online configurator. They're all actual Triumph parts, not aftermarket. And of course, we've got the cruise control, which I got put on from the dealer as well. Okay, Triumph Treat Triple, also known as the Triumph Street Triple 765 RS. It's a great middleweight naked bike. It is above the level of lambs, so you've got to be an experienced rider to have one, in theory. Fully licensed rider. Comes on the Pirelli Super Corsa tyres, which in essence are a track day tyre. Not ideal for winter riding in New Zealand, but a very, very nice tyre on a warm summer's day. Problem with them not being ideal for New Zealand is that they struggle to retain the heat. Oh, hello, school bus. Yes, the tyres struggle to retain the heat, especially when it's wet, because that water will wick away the heat and you'll just struggle to get traction. That said, I have this is what I've heard and what I've found out through my research. I have not had that problem myself, touch wood. This is an excellent fun bike. An excellent bike for weekend cruises. Cruises, yeah. You know, weekend warrior type stuff. But you could also commute on this bike quite easily. It doesn't have an overly aggressive rider position. Not as bad as the Speed Triple RS, that's for sure. You are a little bit more weight on your wrists than the traditional naked sports bike. Now, as I understand it, the lineage of this bike, there was the Daytona, the fully fed sports bike. And they took the Daytona and took some of the fairings off to create the Street Triple 675 back in the day. Somehow, the Street Triple became a more popular bike than the Daytona. And to the point where the Daytona died out, but the Street Triple continues. Using that engine that is so well developed from Moto2, the 765cc Triple, which has such a fantastic exhaust tone. So this is like my first pretty bike. Like the MT-07s that I had way back in the day, they were cool. But really only because there weren't too many of them on the roads, right? Now they're everywhere. And every man and his dogs had or has an MT-07. I'm not saying that the Street Triple is rare by any means, but it's definitely not as common as this MT-07, you know? So the engine and gearbox on this bike, especially with this Triumph factory quick shifter, is just so beautifully smooth. Everything on it is smooth. The brakes aren't exactly aggressive. Don't get me wrong, they haul you up, something chronic. Here we go. Ooh. I've definitely ridden bikes with more aggressive brakes. The thing about this bike from Triumph is everything Triumph do is refined. This bike, some say, is too refined. I don't think it's too refined. I think it's beautifully refined, and it's exactly where I need to be at this time in my life, my motorcycling life. It just picks up speed so effortlessly, so quickly. The traction control does a beautiful job of keeping the front wheel down while not intruding. It's not shouting from the rooftop saying it's taking your cookies away, but it is doing that. It is keeping the front wheel down. We get rider modes. but I ride it on the street. And I'm perfectly happy at that. It's so lovely and refined and smooth and nice and does what you want it to do. I am afraid if I put it into track mode or something, it's going to bite me and rip my face off. Things about this bike that I found out, because this is the closest I've ever come to owning a brand new Triumph, right? All the tools you could need are in the toolbox under the seat, including the things you didn't even know existed, like that little coin tool for adjusting the top hats on the forks. In the book, the instruction book, the handbook that goes with the bike, it's more than just telling you about the bike. It's actually a good read because there's things in there. They give you all the suspension settings for a starting point for track suspension settings, sport, rider, rider with pillion, rider with luggage, all the actual useful information from Triumph's R&D with this bike is all in that book. Ooh. Bit of crap on the road here. So I mentioned in a previous video that the Tenere is now for sale. Tenere being an adventure bike, it is a compromise between road and off-road. If you can only have one bike, but you want to ride off-road and road, then it is a great bike, a great solution, a great compromise. However, if you no longer, like I, don't need to have two bikes, don't need to have one bike that does it all, and you can have an enduro in the garage for getting down and dirty, then I reckon this is the perfect other bike to have. You could commute on this. You can road trip on this. It would be quite fun. Not the most amazingly comfortable bike for long haul, but you could do it quite comfortably. And then you park this up and you go and jump on your dirt bike and you go and ride a trail ride or an enduro or something like that. The thought of taking this down a gravel road makes me cringe. I couldn't bear to do that because it's such a beautiful bike. I don't want to get stone chips on it, but it's not a compromise. It's not trying to give you long leg suspension that you go down a gravel road. It's saying, this is what I do. This is what I do best. Don't bother making me do that other stuff. So, this is the Triumph Street Triple RS 765. A beautiful bike. I'm absolutely stoked and incredibly privileged to have this in my garage for my next long-term bike. It's something I've been waiting for a very long time. I've been eyeing these up for the best part of 2 years. So, you want to know what it's like to live with a Street Triple 765 as a long-term bike? I'm going to show you over the next wee while. Hey, you know, I would go so far as to say this is potentially even a luxury bike. There are other bikes that do the same sort of thing at a better price point, but Triumph gives you almost everything you could ever want. It is built beautifully. It has adjustable span levers, so my hands fit it beautifully. Everything fits beautifully, and if it doesn't, you can change it. Plus, you've got such a massive back catalogue of Triumph authorized accessories. You don't need to go and put cheap AliExpress crap on your bike, aftermarket crap. You can get the branded item. It's a luxury bike. Stick with the luxury accessories. You don't need to go and get cheap aftermarket bollocks. If you're a brand whore like me, this works. And under acceleration, not only is the feeling of being accelerated forward at a great rate of knots intoxicating, but that sound is just phenomenal. I absolutely love it. I don't think I've been this fizzed about a motorcycle in a very long time. I really am infatuated with this bike. And it's stunning in this cosmic yellow as well. Right, that's all I got for you. Got any questions? Chuck them in the comments box below. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that subscribe button too, because it really helps the channel. Come along for the ride. We'll catch you in the next one. Hooroo.